And welcome everybody to the Kerrnel Does Feed the Beast. We are on the Trek Ultimate server. Thank you for joining us today. So we've gone and I did some digging around to get some more clay, and so we made some more hardened clay blocks and stained them orange per the design that I want to use. And we also spent a lot of time in the nether getting some quartz. So what I'm going to try and do today to start off, oh my god, with the lag. It has been terrible today. I don't know what is going on. Last night it seemed to be okay, but today is just absolutely, I mean, you have to break the same block about 5 times. Not sure what the dealio is. So we are going to basically do the floor here to just kind of enclose this area. And oh my god. I did that when I was building this stupid orange thing. I lack coordination, I think is what it is. There we go. So by this time, the Olympics will have been finished. Congratulations to Team Canada. Yes. It was 3 or 4 glorious days. The men and the women both won. Actually, both won gold. The men or the women actually on the same day won the curling gold and the hockey gold. And then the next day, the men won the curling, and our hockey men beat the U.S. in a great game. And then on Sunday, the men took the gold medal against Sweden. So that was an awesome couple of days for Team Canada. So congratulations to them. Made us proud. And if I'm not mistaken, this is like the best performance that Canada has ever had in the Olympics. We're pretty close to it. Lots of gold medals. I think they ended up like 4th in the medal standings or something ridiculous, which is awesome. You know, thankfully, the Dutch ended up below us. I think they had, what, like 24 or 25 medals or something, and like 20 of them were in speed skating or something. It's something insane like that. It's crazy. So, congratulations. It was, for some reason, I didn't find myself interested that much in the Olympics this year. Maybe because it was, NBC just doesn't do anything for me. The coverage is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Unless it comes to hockey, then they got it covered. But the coverage, I just don't like it. I prefer CBC. But I guess I'm biased. So this looks kind of cool. I like how this is looking. We'll put some lights up here and things to make sure it's a little lighter. Down here, I think what we're going to do is we're going to extend the dome out to the border here. I don't know what we're going to use as the actual border block, but the middle block is going to be basically, if I can find some more of it, it'll be marble. So we'll have a marble floor. So, excuse me, what I'm going to do is continue to build this out. Do I want to do that? Is that supposed to be white? I can't remember what I did. I don't think I did anything, actually. Yeah, I think this is going to be white. And the floor, I think I might have gone one too high there. Quite possibly. So we'll just flesh out the border here. I'm glad with these, the Tinker's Construct clear glass, that they don't break as easily anymore, which is awesome, because you could, I mean, of course, it's going to prove me wrong right here. There, see, you can touch it and it doesn't break. Before, if you did that, you guaranteed it would break. You almost just had to breathe on it. So thankfully they fixed that, which is awesome. So I will continue to do this until we run out. It took me a while to get this stuff. We got 7 stacks of it. So we'll just kind of run around the border here up to the back, and then we'll see if we can start doing the upper arm over there on the other side and see how far we get. Okay, so we have completed most. Well, we've laid all the quartz blocks that we had. So it looks pretty good. We were able to get the full arm and the full circle around the top. So we've got the ring. We've got half the ring out the side here. And we've actually put a nice little gravelly thing in here to make it look like there's like a stone garden or something. And we still need to replace this. So we are way short on quartz, but that's okay. We'll just do another mining trip to the Nether in a couple of days. In the meantime, I've been looking at these columns, and I've also been looking at more in depth at the Carpenter's Blocks mod. And I've been alluding to using this in the last couple of episodes, and we haven't really gotten around to it. And I've sort of been putting it off because once I get into it, I'm completely gonna go off the rails. So in the meantime, I do have a small application for this, and actually we're going to be make use of it around the landscape here to soften some of these slopes. But for right now, what we want to do is so these walls are meant to actually be smooth diagonal, and obviously in Minecraft you can't do that. But with the Carpenter's Blocks mod, you can. So I'm just going to chop out these guys just to show an example if I don't have to chop these up too many times. There we go. Okay, so we're going to put a couple of these down. So this is the carpenter's slope. And in order to do anything with carpentry, or with the carpenter's blocks, you need to have the hammer and either a carpenter's block, or in this case, the carpenter's slope. And you can, so the hammer allows you to change the shape and to rotate it, whereas the carpenter's chisel allows you to change the texture so that you can have a brick or some design within the actual face of the block. So you can pretty much put whatever block you've got on here onto the carpenter's blocks, and it'll basically skin it. So right now these are vertical slopes, and if we right click with the hammer, we can change that to different variations of slopes, and we want to have one that's sideways. So let's see, we need to count these. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There we go, 17. Now if we left click it, it'll rotate it. There we go. So let's do this one here. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay. So I'm going to do the rest of these, and then we'll come back because this is boring. Alright, so we got those in place. So now we just take our block that we want to actually put there and right click it. Wow, this looks a lot better. This is what I was looking for. How sweet is that? Oh man. The only drawback is that it took 17 clips for each one of those. So it's going to be a pain to get those to go. But I only have to do it once, so at least I hope I only have to do it once. So let me go ahead and get that done, and we'll come back. Oh, so this is cool. So if you're putting a block on top of one that already has a particular shape, it will automatically mirror that. That is awesome. Thank God. That was going to be a nightmare. Oh, come on. Don't get stuck. Please don't get stuck. Ugh. Alright. We can get one more. Maybe not. Guess I can't go one more. Alright. No, don't do that. Oh, man. It's hard to judge with these things. Alright. So we do that. And that. Alright, so I will finish these. And pop back when they're done. Yeah, that looks a lot better. That is sweet looking. Sleek. Alright. So I'm happy with that. I'm sad that I have to do the other side now. But I'm happy with it. Okay, so let me finish that and then we'll move on to the next thing. We've done a little rearranging out front here. And we moved the Kerrnel logistics sign a little to the right and beautificated it. Probably what we'll do is stick some lights in there once we get around to it. Just to kind of make it glowy. I think that'll look kind of neat. So we've put an arcane pedestal here. Now, it doesn't mean we're going to do any magic. But I like the way that it looks and puts items up here. So we're going to use this for, I think we're going to use this. We'll see if it works or not. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the Kerrnel's manifesto here. So rather than have like a wall full of signs like we did on the last server, I think we can just kind of summarize things into a 1 or 2 page book. So we got our book and quill here. And we're going to call this the Kerrnel's, this is going to be guidelines for Trek Ultimate Season 3. There we go. The first one is that we are not going to... These are limitations that I want to put on myself for this season. So the first one, and we've already brought it up in previous episodes, is that we are not going to... Do not use the nether for fuel. So we're not going to use the nether and suck it dry with lava pumps. Endothermic, whatever. We're not going to use the lava from the nether. Anything that we use geothermal will be from the overworld. Actually, do not use the nether for fuel. Okay, now that may change. Because number 2 is I want to avoid using Mistcraft. So do not use Mistcraft. Because I think that makes things a little too easy. But having said that, I might be making this way too hard for myself, considering GregTech's coming. So I don't know. I may ease that if I'm going to be doing things manually. So, you know what? Let us make this number 2. No quarries. So we don't have quarries right now, but my understanding is in the update we're going to be getting the Ender Quarry, which is an extra utilities mod block, newly added. And it's supposed to be server friendly, but I don't want to use any quarries. I don't. So we're not going to use any quarries. So this is what's going to make number 3 possibly change. We'll have to see. We're not going to use Mistcraft. So where I was going with that was if we use a dense ores age or something, it's not cheating. I just think it makes it a little too easy. But again, we have GregTech coming in, so that I may ease the Mistcraft item. We'll have to see. Number 4. We are only use flight for building. We are going to get flight with the thermostatic harness, but I'm not going to use that when we are, like, let's say going through Twilight or anything like that, or dungeon hopping or whatever. We're not going to use that. We might use it for building, and we might use it just for roaming around doing server tours and things like that. So we are not going to use it for actual caving or anything like that. So flight restriction. And what else? So I had thought in the previous episode, I think I mentioned that I wanted to avoid buildcraft. And the more I look into it, most of the machines that are going to be, we're going to need. So I'm not, we've already gotten into Mine Factory Reloaded. And we're not going to, oh, that's what it is. Number 5. Next. 5. No. How do I word this? No hostile mob farms. So we've already set up the peaceful farm for the cows and for the sheep and that sort of thing. Those are okay. We're not going to set up any hostile mob farms. So we're not going to set up a skeleton spawner. We're not going to use any of that stuff. So we're just going to hunt whatever we need to hunt. Anything else, we're going to have to find alternative ways. So for bone meal, for example, we're going to have to find alternatives to bone meal. And there are alternatives if we're doing automation, and that is with the fertilizer and things like that. So we'll have to look into that. That may be handcuffing us as well, but that's kind of the direction that I want to go, at least initially. And so we were talking about buildcraft. The more I look at the machines that I think we're going to need, specifically for getting, like if we're using the pumps, right, for lava or oil or anything like that in the overworld, I believe we need to have MJ or RJ or whatever it's called. I'm going to call it MJ because that's what I know. So for MJ, pretty much you need buildcraft. So we're not going to, we'll probably make use of the buildcraft pipes and things. And I'm not sure about these dynamos. I haven't really messed with them or looked at them. Thermal expansion, I don't want to go. I think thermal expansion has been, from what I understand, has been made a little easier than it has been in the past. So we'll have to temper things. I mean, I don't want to make things too easy, but at the same time, we're putting enough of these restrictions on ourselves that some of this stuff may become pretty difficult, especially with the GregTech machines coming in. On the other hand, GregTech, I think, is going to make things a lot more fun and interesting as far as the machine builds go. So we're not just going to be flying, putting, blinders on and sleepwalking through it. It's actually going to be I don't want to use the word grind, but it's going to be a fun progression, I think. So I'm looking forward to it. So these are some of the things that I want to put in place. So these are the rules of the road. Okay, good. That saved it. So I think we just right-click it on there. Perfect. So this is the Kerrnel's manifesto. Actually, you know what? Let's sign this. Kerrnel's manifesto. No. Manifesto version 1.0. It is subject to change, so this is in stone right now. Alright, there we go. Done. Sorry, had to get that out of the way. It probably wasn't the most exciting, but hopefully it kind of sets the stage for what we're going to do. A lot of what we're going to be doing is magic related, so we're going to make heavy use of that. Oh, did I make a distinction there? So no quarries. So there, and we'll probably have to amend this, and I'm sure we will. for other things. But there is an Ars Magica quarry apparently that is pretty powerful. I haven't seen it. I don't know what it is. We haven't gotten into Ars Magica, so I'm not as concerned with it right now. So if we need to put it in, we'll put it in later. But any sort of quarry, I think we're gonna not allow. Having said that, I think we're gonna use the arcane boar. It's not necessarily a quarry, but if it looks like it's becoming a quarry, and maybe that'll be an acceptable trade-off if we're really in need of ores. The arcane boar just drills in a straight line, and then when it runs out of room, it just stops. So it does like a 3x3, I think, or a 5x5. So if we're using an arcane boar, if we want to change direction, we have to manually go in and change the direction. So it's not like we're digging out like several chunks or anything. So I think that might be okay for us to use the arcane boar, but I don't want to I don't want to handcuff us too much. So anyway, that is the manifesto. Took a little more time than I had planned to get through that, but I think that is I think those are some good rules of the road. So now the next thing we need to do is, I think, as much as I'd like to work on the machines, I think we need to get the arcane pedestal up and running. Or not the arcane pedestal, the enchanter. Good lord, not the enchanter, the infuser. There's too many words in magic, man. We need to get the arcane and what did I just say? Infuser. What is this stupid thing called? Is that what it's called? I don't even know. Thaumaturgy. No. Come on. There it is. Infusion. Yeah. Okay. I'm not going nuts. Arcane workbench. Mystical construct. Infusion altar is what I'm going to call it, is what I've been calling it, and I have spaced out completely. So we're going to get that done, I think, in the rest of the episode. It's not going to be really operational because we don't have any void jars made up yet, so we may have to get some of those made up as well. But I want to get the infusion altar set up so that we can start doing the research on golems. And I've been working underground, and I'm not going to show you that today, but I'm working underground and digging out some more farm area in preparation for the golems. So we've got a cactus farm down there, and we've got a fully blown reed farm, basically the same setup as the other three farms, the netherwort, and the wheat. Sorry, the other two farms, netherwort and wheat farm. So we've expanded that, and we're starting to dig out the tunnels to the area where we're going to have our tree farms. And all of these are going to be run by golems. So in order to get the golems, you need to have the infusion altar set up to be able to make the golem cores and things. So we're not there yet. So I think we're going to set up, let me gather some things together, and then we'll start building our infusion altar now that we've got the room cleared out. And I guess we'll be back in a sec. Alright, so we want to place the arcane pedestal in the center of the room. And basically what we're going to do is the arcane... Did I say arcane pedestal again? The infusion altar is... It sucks the essentia out of jars that are going to be placed around the area. And I think the dome itself here lends itself perfectly, I think, to having those rung around here. So they're kind of out of the way, but at the same time they're accessible and within range. So they're going to be put up here, and I'm dizzy now. So let's make this thing. We've already made it once, so it shouldn't be too hard. So we got the pedestal and the 4 bricks, and then we've got the blocks. Alright, so the pedestal goes in the middle, and then we've got the bricks. And then the blocks. And then we put the matrix on top. And then, oh, I guess the wand would help. I think it's in my pouch here. There we go. Let's unfoci that. Oh, we need to recharge it. Nuts. Alright, give me a sec. Alright, I think we got it charged. Shift click. Oh, you know what? I put the wrong stupid thing up there. No wonder. Dingleberry. Oh, man. There we go. Much better. Sweet. Alright. So, now what? So with the infusion altar in place, now we can make Boots of the Traveler. We can make the arcane. Well, actually, we still need to research the arcane boar, and we can make these awesome, funky weapons. And we have researched a lamp of growth, which we're going to need for the farms. So I think what we're going to do, and this is the Thermostatic Harness. This is what gives you flight. We're not going to worry about that for now. So what we're going to do is, I think we're going to make up some thaumium ingots so that we can make some of these weapons. And, oh, you know what? No, we're not. Because we can't do anything with this yet. So for this to work, we have to actually put some... Where is it? Is it alchemy? Yeah. So we have to put these jars... I think the warded jars. Yeah, the warded jars. We need to make a bunch of these. And we need to make a bunch of the Essentia tubes. So that we can ring these around the room here. And then we also need to start looking at the Essentia distillation setup. So this is what the alchemical furnace is what you use to basically break down all of the items that you put into it into its component parts. And then those get filtered up through the alembics. And then the alembics will drip them into the jars or into the tubes. We'll have to figure out how that works. I'm sure if you're watching this, you've probably already figured it out, but we're going to work through this through here. So let me go ahead, and I think the first step, I think what we're going to do is the warded jars and labels. Not going to worry about the labels for now. Oh. Oh, that's the file. Okay. So let's make up a bunch of these. We're not going to make up all of them, but we're going to make up, I think, enough to ring the room here. And we're also going to build the pipes, the tubes. So the tubes requires quicksilver, and it gives us 6, which is good. So we're just going to build the tube ring. And we're also going to build the valve, which I think is what allows us to filter. Turned off by hand or redstone signals is done to flow essentially through the cutoff. Okay, so the valve we're not going to worry about for now. So we're going to work on the Essentia tubes and figure out how this stuff works. Filtered Essentia tube, that's what we want. So this would allow us to filter directly into one of the jars. So we will get this done and build a bunch of these. So we're gonna need one of these for each of the jars. So let me get working on all of that. And if you're interested in figuring the recipes, just follow this. I think the important part is getting this stuff done rather than showing the recipes, because you have them just as well as I do in your Thaumonomicon if you're following along. So I'll just show you what we're making and we'll get it done, and we'll be back in in a jiff. So I'm running around trying to get some silverwood logs because they have ordo, and we're going to need that in the infusion altar. And it's a renewable source, so we're going to grab some saplings as well. So I came across this tainted area, and look at this craziness. It's a tainticle. Holy crap. That is ridiculous. And if the jokes can't get any worse, I mean taint. There's some crusted taint. Crusted taint and a tainticle. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, what was that called? Fibrous taint. It just sounds like a medical problem. I'm sorry. They hurt too. So what did it give me? A taint tendril. Huh. That's new. Let's see, what does it actually tell me? Interesting. Oh, and I've discovered Vitum, or whatever it is. Very interesting. Huh. Well, continue on my journey. I went on a very lengthy quest for silverwood logs, and it's really hard to find the trees, the silverwood trees. I guess people are chopping them down. Which, you know, I mean, I was doing the same thing, but unfortunately the drops are so rare to get a sapling that it's very hard to even replant them. So, but unfortunately, silverwood logs is what I need because they contain ordo, and that will allow us to use the alembic on that. So what we need to do is create a couple of alembics. So we need 3 of them to distill out the 3 aspects that are part of the silverwood log. So we need to have 3 of those. I've already made 2, and actually, now that I think of it, I don't have enough gold. It's very gold intensive because the filters require 2 gold, and then the alembic itself requires a gold. So let me grab a couple more gold. Thankfully, we have some on hand. Alright, so to make the filter, we need 4 of those and 2 of those. Okay, and we need 2 buckets, and then we need 1, 2. I think that's right. Nope, maybe not. I know that goes there, and I know that goes there, and I know that goes there, and I think the rest of it is 1, 2, 1, 2. Is that right? Nope, that's not right. Is that right? That's not right. Oh my god, come on, I just made one of these. I'm such a noob. There we go. Okay, so let's make 2 of those. So now we've got 3. So we are fat, dumb, and happy. Okay, so 3 of them won't actually stack within the space. So I think what we might do over here is actually dig this down and allow us to have, like, I think you can stack 5 of these on top, the alembics. So we may actually hollow this out and just kind of fence this off so that everything can kind of come up, and we'll run the tubes up this way. But for now, we just want to get this guy in there. Ooh, and actually, I need access to it. So this is just kind of a hack job right now. So rather than make it look odd, because otherwise, so basically you're going to stick the warded jars underneath here to get the essentia. But if you do that, if this is facing the front, then it doesn't look right. So we'll stick this up top. There we go. And I've already scanned these guys. And if you're interested, that's what you get. Research point wise. Alright. Now, we need to get... Oh, you know what? I have them. No, I don't. I did have them. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where did you go? Oh, duh. Alright. So we stick one down here. We stick one here, I think. We stick one there. Still doesn't look right because it's just kind of floating in midair. So we'll have to do a physics fix on this at some point down the road. But in the meantime, if we right click on this, I believe we just put in... Do we do that? Ah, there we go. So let's use all of our coal. So now this is distilling out. Wait, what? Why are you doing that? That's not what I want. Stop. Oh, they break quick. Huh. Alright, what am I doing wrong here? There's one. Where'd the other one go? So what I want is this guy up here. Alright. So don't waste this. Okay, so there's the ordo. And then we need another empty one down here. Alright. So that's a percantatio. So now I have one bottle, one jar, and it's got 11 arbor in it. Let's just put that off to the side here. No, not the empty one. Oh man. I wonder if I can break these just with my hand. Yeah, I can. Okay. Alright. So I've got 2 of those. Okay, so let's get some more wood and we'll distill this out. And basically what we're doing here is we need to get enough ordo over here to be able to run this guy, because when we go on and make the tubes, we need ordo, and actually we need aqua as well, but aqua I'm not too worried about. So we're basically going to have to distill a bunch of stuff out into the bottles and stick them around this guy so that we can get to doing some infusion, so that we can create some of these items so that we can sort of get to automating some of this stuff. So I think that we're going to end that episode on that. If you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to leave them below. And until next episode, please do take care.